And what's going on August 18th, and we're going to get our trade on. So let's go ahead and look at the chart. I don't trade till about after 9:45, right? And of course, we had the market boom and we rejected from VWAP. As it stands right now, we have a deviation. We had a deviation from VWAP here that extended over two. So therefore, you had the rejection, and then it looks like it's attempting to recapture VWAP. Now, I'm going to wait for a candle close on this so that I have multiple confluences. And once I have my multiple confluences, then I will go long. Now, there are a couple of things I want to change. For those in trade 1348, maybe this will help you. For those who are thinking about getting started in trade 1348, I'm here to show you the simplicity and the power of what we have here. And there is nothing better than showing you live in real time a very simple strategy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go on over to my GT Legends. A couple of things I want to do. Number one, I want to make my ribbons transparent. Now, the reasons why I make my ribbons transparent and I do not turn off is because in doing so, then my STB line, we zoom on here, my STB line will also not show. Now, my STB line, instead of making it actionable and providing information or information overload, what we're going to do is just make it aligned. So all three elements on the STB line are solid. Now I'm going to click OK. Now in doing so, what I have is an actual line, right? A line on close of which if the candle closes above this line, we have a shift in sentiment that we can continue our bullish thesis, right? And or at least attempt to capture the VWAP. And I could use this line here as my stop. Okay. So we have a whole new candle. Now it's kind of hard with TradingView to keep an eye on this whole new candle. That's why I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an indicator absolutely for free. So stay tuned. Make sure you watch this entire video. I'll show you how to get this indicator. So we have something called the closer by 1348. Now, what this is going to do is it has a timer and is counting down, right? And this counter refreshes for every data candle move, okay? And what it's also giving me is, should I enter right here, my stop would be about 27 points or 1.5 times the ATR. And my take profit would be 1.5 times that, right? So what are we saying? We're establishing a 1.5 to 1 risk to reward. So let me go ahead and show you into settings. So if we go on over to the settings here, you can see that that's exactly what this is. We have our take profit multiplier at a 1.5 to 1. If you prefer more of a 2 to 1, then there you go. Now, what we just saw here, guys, is the importance of a candle close. They're waiting for a candle close and a retrace. These are, it's a very, very common rule, right? It's candle close. The next candle is an actionable candle, but you want to wait for the retrace. Now, in this example, I have a really aggressive retracement, and we're flickering from bullish to bearish here. This is a very aggressive candle with a very aggressive extension. As you can see, it rejected from VWAP. So what is this telling me? Based on this very aggressive extension here, it tells me that I'm going to go long. And so I am currently long here. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, and you see this here, when you are trading, I want you to focus less on money and I want you to focus more on ticks. Of course, we can go on over to settings here and we go to trading and then to money, basically a bracket, profits and loss, right? You change this to ticks. I'm just going to click OK. So now what we see here is that we're down by ticks, not money. Of course, you can see my open P&L I am down. I am red by 400 something odd dollars. Now, per my entry, where is my stop? So I entered at or about 23,751. So where would my stop be based on my ATR? It says 30 points. Okay. So that means my stop should be 23,730 or 721. So we're coming all the way down here. Now, if this looks, I'm going to set my stop here, but if this looks too aggressive for you, right? If that looks like too large of a stop, then what you have to do, right? And it really doesn't look that large when we have it set to ticks. But what we really have to do then is say, trade smaller. Okay. So as it stands right now, we were up $1,000. I told my engineer before I started this video that my goal was to make $5,000 in this video. So I want you guys to see this in real time. So back to the screen. My stop was established based on ATR. So I'm very far away from volatility per this entry. That's a very large stop. Now, what we can do, is utilize our ATR as our stop. And so you see, this is an ATR level right about where I entered, right? And so this could in fact be my stop. It just coincidence. I just saw it, right? But if you are saying, okay, I'm going to enter the trade, where would my stop be? Well, you're objectively wrong when you're on the other side of a previous level, which is defined. You can see there's clearly structure right here. Okay. So that's where my stop would be. Now, I have an obligation to be profitable, not to uh, show who has, the biggest, this isn't a BD contest, right? So here we go. This trade, I am protected. I'm also up a reasonable amount of money. This becomes a game time decision. What's more important to me? Proving something out to you or making money? I'm going to choose making money every single time. Okay. So here we go. My stop is there. We are up a decent amount at $1,700. Remember, the goal is 5,000. Okay. Remember, this was my entry. It was also a level. We also had a stop. And so now we're at break even. This trade can go wherever it decides to go and it has zero risk. This changes the psychology of the trade. This now becomes am I okay with $1,200 profit? That's really the question we have to ask, right? And so my take profit though is 60 points. That's what my take profit should be. So for my entry at 750, my take profit should be pretty close to where VWAP is up here. That is pretty freaking wild. So what I'm going to do for the sake of YouTube and for the sake of my goal of hitting 5,000 on a day, I'm going to go ahead and secure this profit should she get over 1,000 again. Okay. So here we go. Now, what I'm waiting for, I would like to see a super trend. The super trend is going to allow me to trail it and trail it objectively, right? But we're not getting that. So here we go, guys. Time to take the profit. I know you said over 1,000. It was over 1,000. There you go. I'm going to take that. Now, I took profit there. Where else could I enter on this trade? Well, I could enter once again upon a retracement. Remember, it's buy low, sell high, and our system is saying we're bullish until it's not, right? So what we're looking for is this line right here. I'm looking for this line right here to close red, not flicker red, close red. And as you can see, the importance of this guy right here. We know what a close is because with the close, we confirm our thesis. Now, for those who suffer from FOMO, I need you to understand something. Upon a candle close, there will always be some sort of retracement. So all we have to do is wait for the close. We wait for the close, look for the retracement, okay, and look for a better entry. So this is what we're going to do here. Wait for this close. And based on the system, we go south. Now, again, we are still very much extended from VWAP per my indicator. Now, this indicator will be released to the public. Of course, you guys see I have some bugs here, but we're printing labels, and I really don't like that. So I will work on this and then release this out to the public so you get a deviation from VWAP, which is a very, very useful tool. It lets you, it keeps you from chasing, if you will. If we just turned off the labels here, right, you could see clearly how price has deviated 1, 2, more than 3, currently 3.44 away from VWAP, right? So it's deviated. There's a standard deviation. When you see something super extended like that, of course, it's based on ATR. When you see something super extended like that, it's a good time to think about like a reversal or a potential reversal. So for me, what I would do is if I'm looking for a potential reversal, I clearly need to recapture GT right here, right? That swoosh. So looks like we got a potential recapture. I'm going to go long here, right? So we got a recapture of the swoosh there potentially. And we're going to see how this works. Okay. Now, I am acting as a contrarian, but it's based on the fact that we're so overextended. I don't want to chase it south. Okay. That's literally what's happening here. So let's go ahead, see what happens. Now, my stop is 31 points, which, yeah, I got some ways to go for 31 points. So I have an objective exit. Very, very important to have an objective exit. Let me go ahead and delete these drawings here. We're going to let this trade pan out. Once again, we're looking at the trade in the form of ticks and not monies, right? Monies will freak you out. Now here, we see here, like we're 7 points away, 7 points away. Not a reason for me to be alarmed, right? I have a trade plan. I'm using my ETR and a 1.5 multiplier. Some traders use a 2 multiplier. Yes. And when you use a 1.5 and 2 multiplier, your win rate actually goes up. So to be able to withstand that drawdown, and also because you use a 1.5 and a 2 multiplier on ATR, statistics show that your drawdowns are reduced by 32%, right? And that improves even more when you're trading on the right side of VWAP. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm trading my extension here, right? This indicator. So guys, make sure you hit the like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you can know when I drop this indicator. Okay. All right, back to the trade. So we are currently up a decent amount. Again, the game was going to be 5,000. That's what I wanted to make here. And I'm going to pay attention to this. You see this here? This is our line. That's going to be a level for me. I'm going to pay attention to this, right? Got to pay attention to this. It is definitely being stubborn at this level. So let me zoom on out and let's wait patiently. That's all we can do is wait patiently, guys, right? Rushing the trade, not trusting your system, not trusting what the market's telling you will force you to lose a lot of money, right? And leave a lot of money on the table. And I don't trade scared. That is a mind shift. What we need to do is change our mind shift. Most traders enter the market with a scarcity mindset. I trade the market with an abundance mindset. So in my abundance mindset, we could see that I am up 2,000. Nice, nearly 3,000. We're up nearly 3,000 on this trade. Remember, I told you I was paying attention to this, and then we have super trend here. Super trend right there. I would expect that to act as a level. Let me draw this out for you. Now, if it doesn't, that's fine, right? If it doesn't act as a level, that's fine. But it's going to force me to use a target. And it's pretty close to my target at no, it's not. 67. Okay, here we go. It's doing its thing. 100 points. Guys, I'm going to take that. Okay. So we're up over $4,000. Again, I promised my engineer I was going to make over 5,000. So where does this happen? Now, I want to pay attention to super trend right here because that's a level. You see that wick responded to that level. Guys, I love this. It's like a live stream, but it's not a live stream. It's recorded because YouTube favors recordings, not live streams. But you get to see this in real time. It's fucking great. And my target's going to be hit. This is awesome. So, well, by the way, I also did this last week, so I'll put a link to that video. Um, there we go, guys. So what I'm looking for once again is a candle close, right? So there we go, candle close. Now there's something else I want to do. And for those in trade 1348, I want to show you something, right? This would also clean up your psychology. So what I want to do is we're going to go on over to GG Legends here. And our colorized candles, that's actually not here. That's going to be inside GG. And our colorized candles, I want to turn this off essentially. So we're going to hit black. We click black. And so all you're going to see is the wick, but you're not going to see the candle. This is really, really important, right? Because if you have a non-actionable sequence, the system's going to tell you, but rather in this instance, we turn it black so you don't see it. So if you can't see it, you can't trade it, right? We're putting you in very actionable situations here, right? The candles need to be colored. Otherwise, this is what happens. If we look at the previous iterations where the candles went black, this is just pretty much chop right there, right? Chop right there. We zoom out, we can see a chop element right there, okay? So I'm looking for a candle print. And then I'm about $700 from 5,000 of which I will conclude this video. It's really that simple. People tell me that I make trading look really simple. And it's not that I make trading look really simple, is I have a system that helps me make trading very simple and I respect it, right? So, let's go ahead and think about what we did here. We had an extension, a very aggressive candle extension, which we were able to see via this indicator, right? And with that, we were able to sort of kind of guesstimate that the market would rebound. We stood away from the market the first 15 minutes. Why? Because the volatility. Sure, you can take this candle up and take it up to VWAP, but you got to be fast and you got to be disciplined, right? Let's go ahead and turn on our entries and exits indicator. Of course, we got the entry here, and then we got an exit here, right? We got an entry south here, and not bad. An entry south, you would have been able to scalp like a 0.8 or 0.33, right? Or you would have been able to enter the trade and then break even. Of course, we got an exit signal here, right? And the reason why we always want to set a stop and try to get as close to break even is to avoid that type of volatility. So that's what happened there. Now we're just going to wait. I have no actionable candle. I have no candle close. I'm still below my super trend and GT is still red. So for all I care, My move is going to be somewhere back down here if we remain bearish, or if we get a candle close above VWAP, it'd be somewhere up here, right? And then, of course, we would like to see GG flip the other way. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, again, I do this. I do this every day. I'm a trader. I'm more so than a YouTuber, more so than an educator. Because I'm a trader, I focus on developing these indicators and these rules and processes, not only to help me, but to help people like you, and other traders who are just getting started. Okay. So let's get back to this. Let's see if we got a colorized candle. I know this is another long video. Apparently 21 minutes. Okay, so we got, oh man, I'm gonna have to edit this. Let's see. Now, what's happening here is we have, you see the white line? Let's bring this to the front here. So, uh, let's visible order, bring to front, so that we can see GT. I want to see these lines. Right, there you go. I want to see these lines here, right? So let me see. Is that going to be GT here? Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're going to bring GT to the front. Cool. So now we could see if we're going to break this level down. Okay. Breaking this level down on a candle close. Very, very, very important, right? We got 3 seconds on this. Okay. Close. Now we got a candle print right there. It's red. We got a slight retracement. I will go south with it, right? Now, I am following the trend here, guys. I'm following the trend here. We're going to go south with it. As it stands right now, getting beat up just a little bit. We have this level here. That was what I based my actions on. Okay, now we are green. Guys, if I lose valiantly. I'm good. I am good with it, right? So, it's struggling right here. It is definitely struggling right here, but the sentiment is bearish. We have pretty much everything red here. So we're up 9 ticks or $250. Again, my goal is 5,000, guys. I'm looking at my P&L like, damn, I'm so close to my goal of 5,000. Just call it a fucking day. So here we go. 7 ticks. We're gonna see what happens here. The sentiment is bearish, right? It's absolutely bearish. Now, my stop will be 33 points from here. So that would be 28,000, right? Okay, cool. So now we have some room. We're building momentum here. 20 ticks. Nice. This is where I can go ahead and set my stop right there. This trade is now free. And all I care about is my profits. And I'm over $5,000 profits, guys. So you know what? Oh, well, we were. Let me get that stop back there because we were. Let's see. Very, very, very close. Once we hit that 5,000, guys, I am out. And that concludes this video. And then I can make the title $5,000 in 25 minutes. Hey, not bad, right? And I got stopped out. Nice. Nice. Proves out a point. But I'm going to go again. We're going to go short again. Okay. And what I'm going to do is be very, very aggressive. There we go. I should have taken profit that time. Right? This time, we're definitely going to take profit once this thing is green and in my favor. Otherwise, yeah, it's not in my favor. So let's see, 30 ticks. Keep in mind, guys, this is points. These are ticks. It's a big difference. I'm wrong if I'm wrong by 30 points. Okay. Let's let this thing go. Let's go. Come on, baby. Get me green once again. This is where everything becomes entertaining. I was right at my goal. I didn't take the profit, right? Damn you, YouTube, and me trying to look cool. And so now I'm paying for it. Man, that thesis, we were spot on all morning with our thesis. Okay. Looks to be ever more so now. So again, we got stepped out, and now this thing is definitely was going in our favor. Again, 5,000, I'm out. We want this to get away from our entry enough so that I can place my stop there to break even, right? So now it's all about pain tolerance. I know what my range is, but I also don't want to get so behind and not be able to make my money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this trade. When I'm looking at this here, you can see how it's like struggling at this level. I'm going to go long right now. Here we go. We're going to go long, and we're going to make my distance shorter. We're going to make my distance shorter so that I can quickly get out and make my money and be done with my day. So we double down here. And 12 contracts, nothing too crazy. Okay. Um, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the top of that wick. We're going to sell, and we're going to modify this. Modify this here. Modify order. And this is going to be 12. So here we go. Guys, yes, making my money back. Everything looking like it should, or was looking like it should. I have my exit at the top of this wick here. We do have some support, or it looks like we have some support there. Getting beat up here. Definitely getting beat up here. All because I didn't take profit, but I'm fine. I'm A-okay. So here we go. NQ. NQ doing his thing. You see, like NQ, the ultimate widowmaker. You can be down 30 ticks, up 20 ticks, right? And if you don't have your stop or planned stop, right, it's going to affect your mentals significantly. Okay. So here we go. We're making our moves. There we go, guys. It hit my take profit, which was the top of that wick. Here's the deal. Right. I always trade in the scope of my portfolio. So I know that when I set my stop, or when this indicator tells me, hey, my stop is 33 points away, I still would need to, and you should get into the practice of this as well. You still need to trade small enough to be able to absorb that volatility within 33 points. All right, guys. So what some traders do is they will use the previous candle close as their stop, right? If you're bullish, boom, stopped out there. What some other traders do is use the previous candle low, if you're bullish, as your stop right here. Some other traders would use the swing low, which is way down here, all the way down here. And that, of course, gives you some room. Now, if we were to, right, instead of having a hard stop, or basically like a static stop or mechanically static stop, we have a dynamic stop based on volatility, and that's what this number represents. So it's ATR times 1.5. So if I entered on this candle, 32 points from 775 would be 742 or something like that, right? So right here, pretty darn close to the swing low, right? But a little bit tighter. And so this is your mathematical stop. Some traders like to use a Q, okay, even larger. So that's 33 points. If 33 points is too much for you to digest, just consider that one MNQ, excuse me, one MNQ, that will be about $66 at 33 points. Okay. Now with ES doesn't move as much. So when we go ahead and we look at ES here, we could see that ES, that's 6 points. So should we get an entry here? 6 points away. So 64.70 means that 6 points away would be 64, right about here. That's our stop, right? Basically around the trade design low. Okay. That this here is how professionals set stops and prevent themselves from getting stopped out and wigged out all the time. Right. And again, your max drawdown. Well, we improved max drawdown by about 32% by using this strategy. So if you want to know how to get this indicator, I'll tell you what. This video gets 100 likes. I'll post a link to the indicator. Come back to this video, rewatch it again, and you'll see the link down in the description and also pinned to the comments. That's how we're going to do it. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. This is Gabe. This was a fun time trading. I'm signing out. Peace.